Welcome to the Deep Dive into Agile Marketing podcast with your host, John Cass. Together, we'll take a closer look at the ins and outs of marketing through an agile lens. You'll learn from interviews with top agile thought leaders and practitioners and gain fresh new insights for your journey. Let's get ready to dive in.
Welcome to the Deep Dive into Agile Marketing. My name is John Cass here in Boston, Massachusetts. In this podcast roundup, we hear a report from our roving marketing reporter, Dr. Garry Blair from Manchester, UK, a research fellow from the Institute of Professional Development. Dr. Blair gives a summary of his research paper about delivering agile marketing projects. First, let's hear from our sponsors.
Are you tired of juggling multiple software tools to manage your agency? Say hello to Deltek Workbook, the ultimate solution for marketing and communication agencies. With Workbook, you can streamline your projects, resources, and finances all in one place. Imagine real-time dashboards and reports giving you full visibility into your projects, people, and financials. Plan your team's capacity weeks in advance to avoid bottlenecks while staying on budget to maximize project margins. Plus, Workbook works perfectly for both agencies and in-house marketing teams looking to boost efficiency and profitability. And here's the best part. At PCI, we're a certified Deltek partner and reseller offering expert implementation, integrations, and ongoing support to ensure your success. Want to see how Deltek Workbook can transform your operations? For a free consultation, visit pci.us/podcast today. That's pci.us/podcast.
Hello, this is Dr. Garry Blair for the Deep Dive into Agile Marketing Roundup podcast. Today I'm speaking to you from Manchester in the United Kingdom, and this is for the Boston Agile Marketing Group. So I am a research fellow of the Institute of Professional Development. I've taught at Manchester Metropolitan University, Chester and Keele Universities, and I've taught students at all levels, from foundation year up to PhD and Masters. So what this is a summary of my research paper on delivering agile marketing projects, a view from practice, which if you go to my profile, Dr. Garry Blair, on ResearchGate, you can find and access for free. It's open access along with my other articles. So what this is an investigation into the key question here is what makes a successful marketing project. And what we did was carry out a literature review and interviews with several academics who are also industry practitioners. So you've got dyed-in-the-wool marketing people, and I talked to them, I did a group interview, and then did a literature review looking at the key themes that came out. So the key question, looking at what is successful in terms of a marketing project. And what emerged very much was that these projects should be agile. That came out as a key theme. And that the dictionary definition of agile is being able to deal with new situations or changes quickly and successfully. So that kind of flexibility was an absolute important requirement of a successful project. So what we looked at also mapped easily onto a project management learning model, which categorized learning into three levels. At the organization, so you're learning at the cultural level, the process level, which is where you're adjusting parameters to make things work in terms of resources, and the project level, which is all about targets. Are you on time, within budget? Have you got the sufficient level of quality, and are you delivering what is required for the customer? So what this theory is that learning occurs at all three levels and impacts on the other levels. So what you learn at the project might well change the way your processes, the way you resource things, and at the organizational level, in terms of the projects you do and the kind of impacts they have and how that maps onto what the organization sees as its key objectives. And the other way around, of course, as well. If things change at the cultural level, then they affect the other levels as well, process and projects. And this is very much an agile model in terms of agile project management as well, the formal Agile project management methodology, because you're learning in an experiential way through projects at the kind of base level, and the focus should be the customer. The objective of, where are you delivering this? Who is it important for? Who is it trying to fulfill a need for? So very much the focus on the customer is important, and that is a key principle of Agile project management and Agile projects in terms of marketing. So several key points came out here. What we looked at was how to do a framework, how organizations should put together a framework for creating, managing Agile projects. So number one was a focus on the customer. Now that is very much, define who the customers are, and look at brands as well. What is the new brand? What are they? What's that going to do? Which customer needs is it going to fulfill? Who are the customers that are profiled to actually be satisfied by this brand or be served by this brand? Who are your customers and what's the brand? And part of that is also, be agile as well. Your brand may need to change as your customers change, the demographics change, society changes what is important. So your brand may need to evolve and even be removed from your portfolio when it's no longer serving the customers as planned. So part of that is what kind of brands do you want and who do you want to serve as customers? Now, also what was important was create customer profiles and tailor the marketing to them. So whatever requirements they had, you could actually fulfill in terms of that profile. So you may segment the market in terms of which customers you're addressing, and you may decide how to market to them. And that may be very different depending on who they are and where they are, and their characteristics. And you must also look at what they need as well. And this is where sustainability might come in. They may want green products. They may want products that don't harm the environment, products that are sourced in environmentally friendly ways, and so on. And they may go for companies that are, have green packaging and green transport, electric transport, rather than petrol or diesel. And also the social side as well. How well does your company treat people? So your image as a company will matter to your customers within the profiles. If you treat people poorly, for example, you hire a subcontractor who manufacture products in factories where they're using underage children, where they're using exploitative conditions, they're allowing exploitative conditions where people are being paid below the minimum wage, working in poor conditions, health and safety issues, and so on. That may affect your reputation. It may stop people buying your products. So you have to be mindful of what will actually make your customers happy and what will stop them buying your products. So, and again, that's agile. That changes as time goes on, and as you use different suppliers, you must look at what their characteristics are and make sure just because they have, for example, low costs, it doesn't mean they're acting in a way that alienates your customers because they're exploiting people or maybe even damaging the environment. So developing a strong customer relationship was a key theme, and that should be agile in the sense that it is ongoing. It is never assumed that year on year you're trying to improve that relationship and establish it and maintain it. And that is a combination now of technology and the human aspect. So you don't just refer people to a website or to a chat bot. You've also got the human element as well for people who want to talk to other humans. So you've got where it's most efficient and effective that people will go to a website to gain information, to gain standard procedures, perhaps fill in standard forms or pass on standard information. But there's also a facility to go to humans as well, where they need a chat, they need a social chat, they need to just talk about their side of it, to relay issues, and also maybe deal with more complex problems that are not so easily dealt with by sets of rules in technology. One other key theme was coordinate the internal organisation, get your own house in order so that the culture supports marketing projects. Make sure you've not got conflicts there. For example, if the marketing department is actually being run by the IT department, then priorities may not be marketing, there may be technology. So get those internal conflicts resolved, internal conflicts between people and between departments, issues of power and who's got what and where resources are important to resolve, so that your organisation is focused on marketing to the customer and delivering for the customer. Okay? So it's important to set standards here, especially in terms of outputs, your products, your services, and your marketing techniques. What are your standards? And make sure those standards are maintained. And go back and check the results. This is an important part of Agile and APM, Agile Project Management as well. Get results from customers and check with other important stakeholders, managers, shareholders, and so on, that you are delivering as you expect. So a survey of your stakeholders, a survey of your customers particularly, to find out what they're happy with, why they're leaving maybe, why they're not buying what they used to, or what they want in the future as well. So you've got good information coming in as to how you're performing and how you need to perform in the future. Again, that's Agile. You're being flexible. You're being ready to not just maintain your position, but to improve it and maintain it in the future. Okay? You also need to increasingly address data requirements of a project. As we use technology more and more, data becomes important, and there's an ethical and security aspect that needs to be covered there. And if you go and use AI, artificial intelligence now, as increasingly is coming into our lives, then you have to make sure that your data set is accurate, because ultimately your AI applications will only be as good as your data. So that has to be cleansed, it has to be ready. And if you're going to put a burden on it, if you're going to say, right, the AI applications will actually serve my customers, you have to make sure that they are fit for purpose, that the data is not producing poor decisions, or if it's supporting your decisions, that it is actually producing credible information based on a good knowledge base. Okay, technology should support the project, and you can have a customer community developed through social media, and that is an ongoing thing as well. And the social media of choice might change as well. It may be maybe it's Facebook, maybe it's Twitter, maybe it's X. You've got to find the right outlet for your customers, really, the right place to have your platform to talk about your products. You can also have a platform that's dedicated to the brand. The best example perhaps is running shoes, where you don't just sell running shoes to customers, but you also have a club where they can talk to other runners, they can compare times, you can have complementary products brought along as well. For example, running clothes, you can have nutrition and so on. So you can even cluster a number of suppliers there to deliver to customers and get some loyalty as well, get loyalty to the brand through the platform, through actually developing a stronger link with the customer. And again, that is the key part of all of this is being agile. Agile project management, very much an experimental approach, developing prototypes and getting good feedback from a customer or customer representative to actually refine your products and refine your marketing techniques. So the important thing here is to review and amend rapidly as well. Time is the issue. You may find that if you are not quick enough, your rivals have actually stolen some of your market share drops, your prices drop, and so on, your market share drops. AI developments as well are very important, will be important in the future to help project management and marketing, and possibly I'm doing a new paper on that as well. So that's where we are really. The key to marketing projects is developing that flexible approach, developing it at different levels as well, the organizational cultural level, looking at the process side, how you resource things, and what projects you pick and how well you do them, and being flexible in that approach. Okay? This is Garry Blair, Dr. Garry Blair, reporting for the Deep Dive into Agile Marketing Roundup podcast. Thanks to John Cass for inviting me to do this, and thank you to you for listening.
Let's go to our sponsor.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Thanks to Dr. Blair for the report. Want to hear more? On September 18th at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Boston Agile Marketing Meetup will feature a presentation from Dr. Blair and a panel discussion where we dive into how Agile marketing principles are shaping the way marketing projects are delivered and succeed, featuring insights from leading scholars and seasoned practitioners, including Dr. Blair, Professor Conway, Dr. Ian Grime, and Dr. Margaret Hyde. The conversation blends academic research with real-world experience. Drawing from practitioner interviews and a comprehensive literature review, the panel introduces a practical framework to define SMART objectives for marketing initiatives, resolve internal power dynamics and resource bottlenecks, align brand identity with segmented customer strategies, leverage data and technology for greater efficiency and impact. If you're a hands-on marketer, the event will offer actionable tools to help you lead with agility, clarity, and measurable success. If you'd like to provide a Roundup report, contact me, John Cass, to learn how you can become a stringer for the podcast. That's all for the podcast now. Again, my thanks to Dr. Blair for his report, and thank you for joining me on the Agile Marketing Roundup podcast. Join me next time at the Deep Dive into Agile Marketing podcast.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of the Deep Dive into Agile Marketing podcast. Be sure and subscribe to our show and leave a review to let us know what you thought of today's episode.
You may know you're listening to this show along the Marketing Podcast Network, but did you know there are other great shows on MPN to help your business? Hennika Watkins-Porter hosts The Entrepreneurial You, empowering entrepreneurs with insights on leadership, business, and success. Hennika, tell listeners what to expect from your show.
So we provide innovative business strategies and practical solutions to common entrepreneurial challenges.
And where can people subscribe?
Find us at hennikawatkisporter.com, as well as the Marketing Podcast Network at marketingpodcast.net, or search for it wherever you get your podcasts.
You heard her. Go subscribe. This podcast is heard along the Marketing Podcast Network. For more great marketing podcasts, visit marketingpodcasts.net.